Hey Impact family, welcome to video number 3 as we prepare for our 21 days of prayer and fasting, and today we're going to talk about fasting. If prayer is how we talk to God, then fasting is how we turn down the volume on everything else in our lives. Now, depending on your background and whether you grew up in a spiritual context or a church context, you're going to have a different interpretation of fasting, and it may be positive and it might be negative. And I know for a lot of us, when we hear the word fasting, we're like, no, I like food too much. And honestly, that's kind of the point. Today, I just want to simply, if I can, attempt to demystify fasting and talk about how to do it in a way that's safe, clear, and full of the grace of Jesus. One of the best examples of this is found in the New Testament, in Matthew chapter 4, where Jesus is taken into the wilderness and tempted by the devil. In chapter 4, starting in verse 1, we read, "Then Jesus was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. And after fasting 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry." Yeah, no kidding. "And the tempter came and said to him, 'If you are the Son of God, command these stones to become loaves of bread.' But he answered, 'It is written,'" and I want you to hear this. This is kind of the idea of fasting. "It said, 'Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God.'" Fasting is about replacing hunger for food with our hunger for God. And just like with prayer, Matthew chapter 6 in the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus encourages us not to make it a big deal publicly when we're fasting. It's something that's between you and God. So what is fasting? And I think a better question may be what fasting isn't. If I had to summarize what fasting is, it's simply voluntarily giving up something good in pursuit of something or someone even better. Now, this is what fasting is not. Fasting is not a crash diet. It's not trying to get your health in order, although there are lots of benefits that come with fasting. Fasting is not about earning God's love. Just like prayer, it's not twisting God's arm and making him hear us. Fasting does not make you more spiritual than anybody else or better than anybody else. And fasting also is not punishment. It's not something we do to punish ourselves. Instead, it's something we do to better hear the voice of God. So let's talk practical. What are fasts? How do you do them? And what kind of fast should you do? I'll give you some examples and make sure, and I'll talk about this all through this video, but just make sure these examples and whatever kind of fast you decide fits your lifestyle. Make sure it's something that you can do in a healthy way. Talk to your doctor before you decide to do a fast, and make sure you're not putting your health in danger. The first thing you could do is a complete fast. And a complete fast is no food at all, liquids only for a set amount of time. I would not recommend doing this for 21 days, although it is possible. Unless you are very healthy and you know for sure you can do that, you go for it, but I would not recommend it, especially if this is your first time fasting. But what you could do during these 21 days, if you do want to do complete fasts, is do them for a short amount of times. Fast for 1 day a week or 2 different days a week, or for a certain short period of time. What I would suggest doing, if you want to know what I would suggest, do a partial fast. Do a fast that's from sun up to sundown. That's a typical Jewish fast. Or maybe your partial fast is you skip a particular meal. You skip breakfast every day, or maybe skip lunch or dinner. Pick one of those meals and you skip that meal and instead spend time with God during that meal time. Something else you could do is what's called a selective fast. These are things like the Daniel fast, and I don't have much time to go into that today, but it's based upon the book of Daniel. He did this fast himself, and it's basically no meats, no sweets, and no bread. I know all the top 3 things, right? Just vegetation and a few other things. But we will include all this information on our website on a particular specific PDF that will include all the types of fast and what's recommended for you. Now, I would recommend doing some type of food fast. If none of those 3, maybe you give up sweets or maybe you give up sodas. If this is your first time fasting, or maybe you give up a certain food. Whatever it is you decide to do, I would recommend doing food. Now, if you have health concerns, or if there are things that take your attention even more than food, you could do a non-food fast. This could be social media, or just screen time and entertainment, television, YouTube, something online, Netflix, whatever it is that's taking a lot of your time. If you have medical concerns at all, I would recommend doing a non-food fast. There are tons of things that you can fast that are not related to food and that won't hurt your health at all. If you're a student, a teenager, I would recommend that you don't do a food fast and that you fast from social media. More than likely, that's going to affect you a lot more than food. Regardless of what you choose to fast, the most important thing is that you do it in a healthy way. Again, before you start this fast, decide what you want to do and talk to your primary doctor. I am not a doctor and I do not know your personal health, but your doctor does. Talk to them and see what's appropriate for you if you decide to do a food fast. Start where you are, not where you want to be. This is your first time fasting. Be careful not to dive into something that is just going to set yourself up to fail. This is not about passing and failing, but it would be discouraging for you to get halfway through this and realize you've actually started too deep or something that's too difficult. Do something that's going to push you, but start where you are, not necessarily where you want to be. This is going to sound kind of odd maybe, but one of the really important things for you to do if you're doing a food fast is drink a lot of water. And I'm probably the worst person in the world to tell you this. On a normal basis, I struggle to make sure I drink enough water during a typical day. But especially if you're doing a food fast, make sure you stay hydrated. If you're doing a food fast, expect it not to be easy. You're going to have headaches the first few days. You're going to be tired for a little while. Those things are totally normal. It's a part of the deal. The important thing is focus on replacing, not removing. What do I mean? What I mean is that when you get hungry, if you're doing this fast, let's say you're fasting lunch every day. Well, when you get hungry at lunchtime, the reason you do that is so that hunger is an alarm to be hungry for God. So your hunger comes about physically, and it is an alarm and a reminder to spend time with God, and that's a time that you give to God. You're not just removing it, you're replacing it with a hunger for God. Here's another thing that a lot of people won't say when it comes to fasting. There's grace in fasting. If you cave in during these 21 days, and I believe you won't, I believe that God is going to sustain you and you got this. I want to encourage you to really try. But if you fail, if you struggle, if you eat something that you said you were fasting, do not ruin the whole fast. Go to God in prayer, readjust, change the fast if you need to, or pick back up where you left off and start again. The important thing is don't make this a legalistic thing. Don't make this I have to make sure, and if I fail, I'm done, I'm out. No, there's grace. Pick yourself back up, continue going, continue praying, and continue fasting. A couple bonus things, and then this video is a wrap. Number one is I would say if you have kids, fast as a family. I don't mean all of you skip lunch, okay? Make sure your kids eat during this fast. There'd be a lot of cranky kids walking around and nobody wants that, okay? But fast something as a family. Find something that you can do. What you can do, and this is challenging, fast sodas, fast sweets as a family. Get your kids involved in this and do it as a family. Maybe you fast screen time. You fast YouTube. YouTube Kids. Oh my gosh, how are our kids going to ever survive? Fast technology for a certain amount of time during the day. Whatever it is, I would challenge you, if you have children, involve them. Let them pick something. I remember one year we did this as a family, and I'll never forget, my son Owen loves ginger ale. That is one of his favorite drinks, or at least it was, until he did this fast. We didn't do it as a family, but that's what he chose to fast, was I'm not going to drink ginger ales for 21 days. After 21 days was over, he actually had a ginger ale and decided, you know what, I actually don't want these anymore. So I don't know what he's going to fast from this year. Whatever it is that you decide to fast, go ahead and start praying now. Do some research. Download the PDF that we provide on our website. Learn about it. If you have questions, email myself or one of the pastors here at our church. Make sure you talk to your doctor if you are going to do a food fast. but ask the Lord to reveal to you what it is He wants you to do. I have no doubt that the Spirit of God will communicate with you and talk to you about what it is, and He'll put it on your heart, how God wants you to fast. I'm excited for those that are trying this for the first time. You're going to see what it's like to be filled by God and to live off the Word of God alone during this time. It is a strange and incredible thing to be hungry and experience God filling that hunger during a fast. So go ahead and decide now. What will you do? Talk to your doctor, talk to your family, talk to God, most importantly, and ask, God, what do you want me to fast in this season? Make sure you come back for video 4 as we dive through some bonus FAQ things that I want to make sure you know before we start these 21 days of prayer and fasting.